Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. Is our Jim, and the legend's popped in again, the bridge man. He's always available for duty. Evening, Jim.
Evening. All right, guys.
Aye, mate, your good self.
No bad, mate, no bad. Had better weeks, but we'll get on. Just need to get on, mate.
Listen, mate, football-wise, it's been a disaster the last 2 weeks. Yeah, well, 2.5 weeks has been a disaster, but life goes on. Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening, Ox there, and big good evening to yourself, Jim, as well, and the two techie boys. I have to say this to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. I'm a lot better today. The medication must be kicking in. I'm happy a wee bit. Oh, good evening to everybody, to all the Rangers fans. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Wow.
I told you to bring that medication into the studio, Bridge, so we can off some of it.
It's made me a lot happier than I was yesterday.
I don't know what I've done to Fox. I don't know if you two have got any clue. I don't think he's talking to me. Wonder why. Any ideas? But there you go. Jim, me and Bridge have been on. I've been on Sunday. I've been on Monday. I gave my thoughts on the game. I gave my thoughts on the selection. I gave my thoughts on the players. I gave my thoughts on the refereeing. Bridge chipped in and similar last night. I'd be interested to hear your taking first of the game, and then we'll maybe part that. And well, last year, as a qualified referee, so last year, your take on some of the things that's happened over the weekend in Scottish football. Is that all right with you, Bridge?
Okay, I'm interested to hear that.
Yes. So, well, you usually batter referees instead of talking to them. Anyway, that's another story. Jim, your take on the game, maybe selection, whatever way you want to go, mate. Interesting to hear what you've got to say.
Right. We'll start with the selection, and I found it absolutely baffling. And again, and I don't know what the truth is was that the boy Antman, did I hear right that he hadn't started a game since November, October? Is that possibly right?
The last league game he started was the 30th of November, St Andrew's Day. He started against Queen's Park. Was it Queen's Park in the Cup, mate? Yeah, the 8-0 game. He started in that. That's the sum total as his starts, mate. Yeah.
Yes, and again, probably as baffling as Scott Wilson coming in against Hearts and had been missing for 7 weeks. Again, I don't know what the managers, what the problems is, the manager, what's going on in these selections. I've read people saying that he doesn't know his best 11 and whatever else. He's been in the door a good few months for him not to know who his best 11 is. But going on to the game, we started okay. We got the goal. We had our foot on their throats, and we backed up again, try to play safe football. And as you see, I heard these the last couple of nights. The big guy, Chucky, man, he can't keep the ball and he can't make a simple pass to a Rangers player. And it's been evident for weeks upon weeks upon weeks the way that midfield is operating. And I think he's been a big part of the problem in that midfield, i.e. his distribution of the ball, passing, and whatever else. And another one who started, look, I've got to say brilliant, I'm probably the wrong word, started great in the Rangers jersey. And another one, the wheels have kind of fell off the big guy. That to me is an alarming thing, is what's happening with guys that's come in that team who are kind of been in and out it. Came in at the start, looked good, the wheels fell off them. But as I'm saying with the game, like that game hinged on that right back with that challenge. If he goes off that park, all right saying it wouldn't have mattered. Of course it matters when you're still 1-0 up. That's my view on the first half. Come out in the second half, the same as a Hearts game. We looked all right for the first 7, 8, 9 minutes, then 2 goals in the space of minutes. 2 identical goals as we lost at Tynecastle, and the backside fell right out. We then settled down again later on in the game. Couple of half decent chances. There's just no fluidity, i.e., in the way we're doing, but it's coming in bursts and no coming in the impact that we need. That's my view on the game.
All right, mate. Also, the Ant-Man one, it's a head scratcher, you know. And as I said yesterday on the show, I was talking to Opera, and he said, it's this simple. He's gave everybody else a go, and he was last man standing. You know, because that became a mental problem position. And obviously, Scott Wilson was poor the week before. And Ant-Man, listen, it'd be cruel to say he was poor. I actually felt for him. I didn't think he should be starting. You know, and he got the ball a few times, never influenced the game. And he looked in the second half, he just looked like a fish out of water, you know. But I'm not blaming him because we lost the game, Bridgeman. I'm just saying that I don't think we've also been fair to the boy doing that to him. I don't know what you think, Bridge.
Well, I think Ant-Man had a cracking record at his previous team. I can't remember who it was he was playing for. And he was big on assists. But I don't think he was...
Elvis had a cracking record. You wouldn't
I know.
right, would you?
Yeah. No, but I'm just meaning that he was never a wide player. Never a wide player. And it looked at. Because he's not got the pace to go past people the way he should, the way a wide man would.
Well, that's a big asset. He's made a hood, didn't it? We were bringing
That's
in.
correct.
His pace, just grass and run into it, nobody will catch him. We haven't seen it enough, but I can't blame the boy. I just can't blame the boy for good, bad, and indifferent, because I don't think he should have been playing. So that one for me is on the manager. Yeah. But the manager might give a rationale. Well, what am I meant to do? I've tried the other ones and they've all flopped, Jim.
I think where the possibilities came for there, with big Romans coming back in. Because I think there was a wee period earlier on that the two of them did look good together in a couple of previous games. And that's the only explanation you can think as to why the managers brought him in. But he thought he was going to get that same joy out of they two and doing that left wing.
But Ant-Man was on the right, mate.
Well, again, that's another one of these crazy decisions.
Let's rewind this. Bridgeman, it's just been confirmed. A referee doesn't know he's left for right. Bridgeman.
Jim, you're a dancer.
I'm glad that's all you said.
I love it.
Carry on, James. The floor's all yours.
You've got the floor, Jim.
Flair, aye. but we're all on the Flair. That's what the problem is. Shambles, man. Absolute shambles. Again, he doesn't know where he's playing his players. And that to me, that's on him. But the mistakes getting made with the players is on him and no on the manager.
They're not getting
simple mistakes.
Collectively, I can't argue with it. I mean, I can't argue the fact that Ant-Man was playing in the right, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose if you were in with all your mates on the other end, he might have been playing on the left.
Aye. Oh well.
Dear, aye. Look, and again, and I understand what you've said about Tam and De Giga. I mean, we've said that Bridgeman, big De Giga, he's got assets. That pace he's got for a centre back is some asset. But you've then got to add in that you've got to be able to read the game, or the pace becomes nothing, mate.
I've been watching over the last 2 weeks now, particularly De Giga, and I have to say, I know he's got pace, but you know he's no presence. He doesn't really know where he is in the pitch, and he looks to the side to see if it's all right, and he makes so many mistakes with his possession. It's no real. I would prefer if he got the ball and he just volleyed it as far as he could at the park, up the way. You know, don't go just straight sideways. Just volley it straight up. It gives the guys a chance to get up the park and do a bit of work. But Jiga just seems to be, we'll just tip it out here. And the ball goes just straight where he was, just absolutely straight. And who's there getting the ball? But the Celtic player, and he could take a quick throw in. And our guys are up the park waiting the ball, that kind of daft. But yeah, there is a big problem with our passing. Throughout the team, our passing. Sometimes some of the players are quite good at it. They're quite quick and quite good at it, but not under pressure. When they're under pressure, that's when mistakes make. And I'm sorry to say, our whole midfield's like that. Our whole midfield's like that.
Listen, I've been intimating it for quite a while on here, Jim, about the passing. Yeah, and I don't like to be overcritical. I mean, for somebody like me, it just came natural, but it doesn't come natural to everybody.
Oh, yeah, you like. You're all in, Jim.
Aye. but see what you're saying there. But it's happening in every game. These basic mistakes.
Bad passes. I don't mean passes, Jim. I'm talking about there's hard passes in a game of football. You have a try and they don't come off. But we're talking about guys in the middle of the park rolling it out to somebody at fullback, or a simple pass and we're getting it right. Where it's no making it or it's behind the guy. There was a classic. I think it was in the Motherwell game. We burst away and we were 4-on-2 and it was 2 each. And Asgard had a pass to roll it into Tav, who was running on. He played it where in his stride, he caught it in his legs. Well, I know what happens. If there's a yard in front of him, Tav's running on and hopefully busting the net. Just a small thing, and it wasn't a difficult pass, and that shows up. There was another pass, I mentioned it already on the show, Jim, and you could come in after this. Big Fernandez shows a bit of skill. We know he's got for a big centre-half. Burst forward. The pass is out to Mikey Moore. He miscontrols it. They lose possession. I think he even gets booked for a slide-in challenge. The pass it out to Mikey Moore and keep running into the box to see if he can help. Yeah, we're 3-1 down, we might get a goal. We had a chance to make a chance. And we never done it because we're passing and our decision making is poor. James?
Yes, but it's no just recently that's been poor.
No.
That's been evident for a good chunk of the season.
No, this group collectively, I think that's fair, Bridge, isn't it? It's fair. But no, listen, I'm not. They've all got assets. A lot of these players have got assets. We talked about Diamande last night, Bridge, man. I mean, he's got the way he gets the ball, and sometimes he comes out of a tight space and left scratching your head. But then he's got the downside. He's not the greatest passer in the ball. And when you play in midfield, that's a big part of the game. Making accurate passes and running and helping and getting either, as Albert would say, the 1-2, or you make the play and somebody runs forward and you go and cover your mate, or you bust yourself into the box to try and go on the end of your cross. All these things are part of the game.
Oh, a midfielder's got to be able to pass the ball. I mean, really. And I would suggest, and forgive me if I get this wrong, but I would suggest they've got to be at least 90% on the ball. The midfielder passes. Sometimes you make a wee mistake. It happens. We're not stupid. Ball gets trundles out the park. But when you're pushing the ball 10 yards, what you think's 10 yards, and before you know it, one of the opposition players is standing right next to him and takes the ball away. It's a passer's problem. He's not seeing. He's not watching who's there. So get it to the man's feet. There, in you go, and let's do it. But midfielders, they're what can I say? They're the ones that keep the team going. They're the engine keeps the side going, and they're the ones that create a lot of the chances, create a lot of openings for somebody else to create chances, and so on and so forth. But if they're not doing their job, or the ball's falling away from them, then it's leaving a massive hole behind them. A massive hole. They're never going to get back in time. Never. No matter who they are. So really difficult, really, because you make stupid tackles, don't you? You get a bad pass in. I'll make up for that. Bang. You've brought somebody down and get booked or something. Stupid,
Yeah, and there's nothing worse. Nothing worse than any, even 5-a-sides, Jim, or you play with your mates and somebody gets the ball and everybody runs forward because there's an obvious pass. It's no made. It goes behind and everybody's caught out of position, yeah?
Yep. Happened to us against Motherwell at Ibrox for the winner.
Yep.
But it's happening. It's happening far too often. Far too often. We've got the best facilities in the world, and probably in Scotland, and these mistakes are still working. It's still happening. It's mind blowing because it's every week it's happening. The passing. All you're seeing in own fan forums and guys at the game are people getting on about the way we're playing football and how we're looking, how so slack we are. Then again, we went 3-1 down, then 10 them up the park about 10, 15, 20 yards, and we started getting at them. Why would we not push it up? But we kept on dropping till the inevitable happened, and they went 2-1 up.
Aye, and a lot of that comes from we put ourselves under. Going back to you mentioned Tushy in the midfield there, mate. Listen, the boy's got, again, like everybody, he's got a bit of pace, he's got a bit of power, he gets it, he can pass the ball. Sometimes, I think the problem is when he plays in that too is the defensive midfield. He's not quite seen the whole picture, mate. He's no sniffing out danger, he gets us into problems. I mean, when he started trying to play an overhead kick, for the second goal, ended up getting in the net. I'm not saying it was just his fault, but he was the catalyst at the start with the wrong decision. We see him try to clear the ball at Falkirk. He's not switched on. So all these are part of the game when you play in that role. You've got to have the all-round game. You've got to be able to sniff out danger, go with your runners. And then when you've got the ball at the edge of the nine bolts, you have to make sure you don't put the whole team under pressure. It sounds, it's not quite as simple as saying it sometimes because obviously people are up your backside, but depending on where you're and who's about you, you've got to make the right decisions. And that's part of that job. And I'm not blaming him again. He's an inexperienced player. Well, he's not that inexperienced, but he's not a senior pro by any manner means. Hopefully we don't write him off and he can come on back onto the player he looked when he first came in the door, Bridgman.
Yeah, obviously. I think it's absolutely essential that our players, I don't know how any manager or coach is going to be able to tell them. They've got to know what they're doing. They've got to know how to pass
I'm
the
available,
ball.
mate. I'm available.
I know. Yeah, I'm just saying that, they've got to know where they are on the park. They've got to know who's running about them. They've got to understand that. They've got to have instinct. Now, sometimes you can't help it because if opposition comes in and whack you in the back of the legs. But really, if you get the ball, you've got to distribute the ball the way you want to see it or hold it. And if you decide to hold it, you can't hold it and stand there. You've got to move and hold it, keep the ball, and then find a bit of space in one of our players. Other than that, it's a very, very simple game. If you let the ball do the work, and that's the best thing I can say about that. You let the ball do the work, and it'll happen for you. But see, if you press it and you're pressing with the ball at your feet, you're going to get it taken off you. Absolutely, 100%. Nearly every time.
Well, we've witnessed that all season with the young boy Asgard. Jim, he gets the ball and he takes that long that sometimes he's in a decent position and you're saying, move. And he waits and there's been occasions where he's been crowded out, mate. I don't know how long they think they're going to get. I mean, I know Scottish football's quick, but when we watch Big Asgard, it wouldn't matter what league he was playing in, somebody's still going to come and challenge him.
He's too lethargic at times, isn't he?
I know it's his style, mate. I know that's his style, but you've got to, if your style's not working, mate, you've got to have you've got to have the intelligence, the football intelligence to improve it, which causes you problems, no? You know what I mean? It's part of the game as a pro, mate. You've got to, somebody pulls you to one side and says, look, you can't keep doing this. You have to, when you get the ball, you've got to stride forward. Make sure you don't get caught in possession because you've been so lackadaisical. And especially now, Jim, when you can sit down and say, look, there's you done it in the 7th minute, the 11th minute, the 24th minute, 47 minutes you get caught again. There's the problem. Look what's happening. You can actually show it. It's not like back in the day when you had to take notes on a jotter, mate, and say, look, I noted down on the 7th minute, you done this, the 11th. You can actually show them and say, look, there's where you're going right. What a tool that must be, yeah? Just think if I could sit down and show you two where you went right. What a life it would be. Jim?
You need to point out your left or your right first, but...
Well, I've got a solution for that, mate. I get you a pair of gloves. I get you a pair of gloves with R&L on it, mate.
No, he just need to write it on my horn with a pen.
Oh, what are you two like?
Keep the show going. We'll keep the show going.
Shockers. Pair of shockers.
No, I mean, I'm just, I'm not having a go again at Asgard. I'm just saying that's an obvious improvement he can make to his game, innit?
I think there's a lot of them. Simple things can improve their game. I mean, I hear you a lot saying that was an easy game. It is an easy game if you're doing the easy things right. The simple things.
Aye. And it's also a team game as well. Right, okay, gentlemen, when we get the phone lines opened, yeah,
We'll go for it. Yeah.
you know, I mean, listen, everybody's made their views. Sort of the consensus is, I think, on here. I'm going to be interested in Jim. Bridge, no, that's not fair. Bridge said that he thinks that Danny Rowe might go in the summer. But the news broke today that it looks as if he's been told that everything's safe for next year and all the plans are in place back by the board. So I'd be interested to see your take on some of the stuff which we spoke about since Sunday. But before that, James, if you don't mind, we'll get the phone lines opened.
Yes. Let's hear from you tonight, guys. Girls, let's get the phone calls, get the calls in.
It's my line. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, come and join us, give your thoughts. Listen, people might see it different. People might say, no, it's time, it's not working, you know. I think your manager's been under as much pressure as Keir Starmer the last week, Bridget.
Oh, God, aye. Well, what can I say? I think the manager's under so much pressure. It's going to affect him at the side of the park now. These last two games are going to be absolutely critical and crucial. And if we can't perform and get points at these games, well, I don't know what we're going to think. I don't know what the fans are going to think. It just puts a dampener on any good part of the game, of the season we've had. We get some 5, 6. Sorry?
I think that's happened, mate. I don't think these two games are going to influence what people are thinking. It might. Well, if it doesn't go well, we can get worse. But I don't think it's going to influence that many people. I think they've made their mind up, mate. Yeah,
but you know, going through the split in the Scottish Premiership, if you're going through the split, Rangers should be taking at least 50% of the points. You know, they're going to have 2 games at Ibrox in the split, and they've got to win they too. It's just got to happen, and it hasn't. It hasn't.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think the split's part yet. It's the fact that we've won 3 games, beat again the opposition who happen to be in the top of the league. It doesn't matter. The split's nothing to do with it, Jim. We have to play them at some point, and we'll blow it.
I'm the same as you. I don't think the split has been an issue. I think these issues have been there before the split, and just unfortunately, they've raised their ugly heat probably worse during the split than they were earlier on. I mean, this goes back, and I know I've harped on about it. I don't think we've kicked a ball since we went back in January back to playing 1 game a week. And everybody said, oh, that'll be good. We've nothing else to concentrate on, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'd just love to know what they've been doing, because these things, these mistakes that they're making that are so basic between midfield and that defence. To me, that's where the issue is. Your midfield and your defence, and possibly your goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper. That's a good one, mate. I like that. Listen, mate, it's there to see, right? 4 games, last 4 games, mate. Lost 11 goals, mate. 11 goals. 3 or 4 games we have conceded 3 goals. And obviously we conceded 2 at away at Tynecastle. 11 goals in 4 games, mate. I don't think you need to be Einstein to see there's a problem in the defence, the goalkeeper, and the defensive midfield, Bridge, yeah?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why I feel anyway, it's if we don't win if we don't win even one of those games in the last two, there's something seriously wrong at our club, seriously wrong. And if we're going to carry this through the next season, then woe betide us. We really have to get better, and not just on the pitch, but in our minds. We've got to get better, be more confident, show people this is Rangers you're playing. We're not taking any rubbish. You watch the way that mob across the city livened their game up, and they started coming out, and the tackles went in. Maybe a wee bit, some of them a wee bit dirty. That one Johnson had against Mikey Moore, red card every day of the week, a red card. And that on some of the games of places that I've played, and with teams that I've played against, that's a battle. There's going to be 3 or 4 punches thrown because of that, and that's what I mean. There's got to be that bit of character, that bit of spirit in you, and strength, and get out there and let them know who you are. And you'll not get it. They'll not do it again. Well, they couldn't do it again because you'll be sent off. But there you are. That guy lived to fight another day for no reason, other than I would suggest biased officials.
Are you wanting me, Bridge, to get the referee's take on that?
Yes, go for it.
No, I'm going to say something about what you're saying there about the rugby. I think the carry on in the last 10 minutes, say the Romans and the Snake Eyes one. That taking a wee boy, a wee low knee, 18-year-old, to get in and about that. Where was the rest of them? Where were the rest of them?
That's exactly the question.
That's just thing with that. But you're just after saying. We've named day the dark side of that. All right, see the Johnson one. I'll start with the Johnson one, right? You seen that tackle going in there? We've nobody in that team who can put that tackle in. We've nobody. By the way,
for the defence, I'll say this, mate. If we put the same tackle in it, it's a red card.
100%.
That was my next point. But again, how that can go, how he can see that and VR not intervene. And I think the biggest issue is the problem between Sky. You heard that Rocket Gallagher, whatever his name is, that used to referee in England, Bacon came out with a comment yesterday, and Sky weren't long and coming out today saying, "Oh, that's not true." Well, my issue is, well, why are they paying public? Why are they paying public? No showing that tackle from many angles, because I'll tell you what, it's happened many a time this season where a Rangers player has done something, and there's been numerous angles of things where you think they're right or where you're wrong. That angle wasn't. There was nothing shown on that tackle until half time in that game or anything there. And you ask yourself why? Why are they paying public? Nobody getting this, and yet they're quick enough to come out today and say no. The VAR did have all the angles. Well, that again is another issue. Then how can VAR sit there and think that's no a red card? Step forward, Mr. Beaton. That's all I can say.
What I will say is, you might have all the angles, but you've got to look at all the angles before you see it. If you don't choose to use them all, there's no point of them all. And listen, I'll be honest, I said it on the show, and Bridgeman, I'm not like you. I've not got this automatic fear of referees and policemen, right? Right, but initially I thought, all right, okay, that's all right. And then when I seen it half time, I'm like, God, that was a straight red. Yeah, and anybody that's listening to this show for a long number of years, I like to think I'm quite fair with decisions, Jim. And I didn't see it to half time. I didn't think it was a red when I seen it initially. But when I seen it at half time, I went, that's a red card.
Well, you seen it at half time, and that's how many minutes? Like, was it maybe 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes after the tackle took place? Wow. So nice to see that.
So why are the television company no showing it? Why are they no showing it?
Obviously, I can't answer that. Are you speaking to the television company not showing it on their own, or has it been suppressed?
Public, and
I'm saying, do you feel it's been suppressed?
Aye, yeah, I do. Aye. I don't think there's any other reason why.
Well, if we're being suppressed, there's something not right.
Are you saying to me, Mr. Prosecution, that you think there's skullduggery going on? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, come on, man. That's a good word. Skullduggery. Well, aye. I'll say aye.
All right, mate. All right. Yeah, I understand. Right, so you, Mr. Referee, you think it was a straight red when you seen that angle, yeah?
Yes.
Right. Where do you stand on the equaliser, mate? Because
Aye.
there's a favour, mate. Please, I thought I knew the rules of football. I obviously don't anyway. I know you've never known them. But why is the linesman's flag not up? And then VAR has to make a decision, mate, because there's 3 of them offside. Why is the linesman's flag up? No.
I think the one in front of the goalkeeper's got to, he's got to be deemed as offside. I heard that crank who used to play for us coming away with some crazy comment. Jack Butland can see it. He can see it. Oh wow, man! Seriously, 9 times out of 10, that's going to get that's getting given against you. I mean, it happened to us earlier on the season, I believe, at Dens Park. To me, you're right. What's the linesman doing looking straight at that when they can see 3 men standing there? Again, waiting on VAR, making a decision because they don't want to upset their pals.
Are you saying to me that you think there's skullduggery going on, Jim?
No, but I do believe they're waiting on VAR making the decision far too often in this country.
Are you implying that there's skullduggery going on, James?
No, I'm saying they're letting VAR make too many decisions.
Okay. I'll no push him, Reggie. Wouldn't be fair, would it?
But no, Jim. I think I don't know. I don't know how many years you were refereeing, but it's probably a lot. But the truth is that was for me. As soon as I saw that tackle, you could see that he got the ball. You could see he hit the ball, but straight through with his foot up and on the sole of his foot right into the guy's leg, and that's a shocker tackle, an absolute shocker. No, not a yellow card, a red card, 100% a red card, and he meant it. I don't care what anybody says, he meant it. He took the ball and he went straight through the ball with his feet, foot up, straight leg, bang. And that's probably what they're asked to do. Players playing for other teams when they play against Rangers.
I don't know if you're moving about. Your sounds went bad all of a sudden, mate.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
don't know if it's just me. Carry on, keep on. You'll be all right, mate. Yeah. I listen, mate. When I seen it, initially didn't think it was and then when I seen it, I was like, wow. But the equaliser, I was actually waiting for VAR to cancel it, mate. I was quite confident, and during the game, I thought, they're not getting that. Yeah, that's what I thought, Jim. How wrong was that?
Yes, they were wrong. But see the one I've got a really big issue with is the coming together, as we spoke there, the Romans and Johnson. That's the one I've got a big issue with there, by the way. He booked Kieran Tierney for one reason and one reason only.
So he didn't
because he didn't have to book Snake Eyes.
Are you saying to me that you think skullduggery's going on there? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I believe he booked the right man, and you clearly see him. You clearly see him. Kieran Tierney's looking at him as if he's got that. What are you putting me for? Everybody knew why he booked Kieran Tierney. Because he had to book Johnson. He was after the park.
Wow. Your mind works so much different for me. That never crossed my mind, Jim.
What a shocker.
Wow.
Ridiculous. There's no other reason why. Kieran Tierney had nothing to do with the situation other than trying to separate people. He had nothing to do with it.
We're not implying or trying to make excuses for our second half performance. What we're saying is, all we're looking for is a fair crack of it. We were awful for the first 15. Well, no, for the first 5 minutes we were all right. For the next 15 we were poor. And then we played all right without scoring a goal. But for that 15 minutes. We were atrocious. And we're not deflecting for that or trying to make excuses. We're just stating things that's happened in the game. And the incident near the end, I think it was still 3-1 with a few minutes to go. With it, I doubt very much that it influenced the outcome. But right's right, Bridge, isn't it?
Well, you know, like people are watching that. The tension's incredible in that game. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely, it's the most intense game in probably world football. It really is. So, and people are so high. Tackles fly in, but a lot of the times tackles are flying in. They're not actually touching anyone. It's just tackling. But my God, that at the weekend there, that was. I know that Johnson, it was a really bad tackle, but my God, there were some terrible tackles going in anyway, and they weren't even getting a free kick for it. You know, it's just such silly stuff for me. But the referees, no, I'm sorry, they should be embarrassed. That performance, they should be embarrassed. No doubt about it.
Nick Walsh's performance, we lost again. I still say the worst performance I've seen at that place was Kevin Clancy when he sent up Morelos where we won 2-1.
Yeah, I know.
And getting big catches. But that performance on Sunday over the piece wasn't bad. Can I ask you another question, Mr. Referee? Yeah?
Yes. Your Honour.
I thought a pullback of the jersey now was an automatic yellow card.
Aye, that was another thing. Big Sir Beattie, he had that trusty rattled. Started get at him, and his first foul, he was given a yellow card. Then all of a sudden, the same challenges were getting in, and nothing given. That's why fans and players get so uptight. There's no inconsistency. But there's no.
You mean there's no consistency? It's full of inconsistency.
Mental, absolute mental. Again,
Mr. Referee, don't avoid the question, please. Is a pulling back of the jersey?
Yes, it's a caution. Yes.
Yes. So they must play with different rules for the rest days, then, yeah.
They do that, boy. They do that.
I witnessed three playing. Pulling back of the jerseys, pretty close to Mr. Walsh. And obviously, I wouldn't intimate like yourself. I think he's just missed them, Jim. But if you're intimating you think skullduggery's going on, please say.
I couldn't say, Your Honour.
He's learning bridge, isn't he?
He is indeed.
Yeah, it was an awful performance. By the way, it wasn't him that put the ball in the net, kept him out, but the equaliser, there was an influence in that, influence in the red card. And his big AK point to do it last night, Bridge. We go in 1-0 up at half time, and they're down to 10 men. It's a different game, yeah?
Totally different game.
Can I ask the referee before we move on, Bridge? Can I ask him one more question?
Go for it.
Yeah. I know you're a study of all things football, and you look at all decisions. What's your view, Mr. Referee, about the penalty that Hearts never got on Saturday evening?
But one?
Well, I've only seen the one myself. The one for the corner kick. I've not watched the handball. I've no one following other games yet.
I find that astonishing. That to me was astonishing, and I believe tonight he's come out and apologised to it. But see, he come out and apologise. He can apologise all he wants. The damage is done. The damage is done.
Right. Interesting. Your thoughts? Penalty kick?
Oh, penalty kick all day long. And you can see looking straight across the line at it. He made no intention whatsoever to play the ball and took the man just in round about his ankle. And for him to turn around and say that there wasn't enough force. Fuck away, man, give my headpiece. Again, what did VAR see that he's not seen? I mean, there's two guys sitting in that VAR room. And he doesn't think that's a penalty. No, I'm going to say something that, I better know.
Say it, boy. Say it.
Are you intimating you think there's skullduggery going on?
I couldn't say, Your Honour, but I've got my views on it.
All right. Listen, I've no sympathy for Hearts. We've been trying to tell them for years what's happening. Yep. Now they might wake up. Now they might wake up collectively. Now their support might realise, and take the blinkers off and open up to what's happening in Scottish football. Anyway,
I think
We
Hotspur
think-
cheated. I think Hotspur cheated there. Absolutely.
I thought it was a penalty. I thought it was a penalty kick.
would you give it, Jim?
I think I would have never seen that in the game. I wouldn't have shot myself the way he did. That was the word I was going to use. I'm sorry for my language.
I never hit it. It's a bit of coffee. I never heard you. What'd you say?
Aye.
Don't say it, Jim. Don't say it.
Aye. Listen, we know what's going on. Jim, the pressure on the ref, I was going to say, the pressure on the manager, of course. We've all supported Rangers for a long time. We've lost 3 games in a row. Any manager is going to get questioned when it happens at our club. Yeah. So the speculation is that there's been meetings, and obviously he's got the backing in the board, and they've got plans to go forward. That's fine. I mean, I'm comfortable with that if that's the way they want to go. Them who pay the piper call the tune. We've got to get recruitment right, and everybody's under pressure because there's going to be a lot of changes. There would have been a lot of the changes happening if we'd have won the last 5 games. If we didn't lose them, a lot of it would have been happening anyway. So obviously we're in a different place, and we have to deal with that. But however, the pressure's not going to go away, and they'll be judged, I think, by the start of the season. I hope if Danny Rowe is our manager, we don't have the toxicity at the start of the season we had last year with Russell Martin. We can get behind the manager, the new signings, the team, and we can drive forward. Jim?
Well, here's hoping. But as you said there, you're reading a lot of forums and all the rest of it. I think a lot of fans have made their mind up. Again,
on.
Aye, but I don't know if it's based on the hurt that everybody's feeling now. Because probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, before we were in this, we did. But again, you were personally, you were waiting and what's happening. That's my view on it.
Well, we've not been defending well for a long time. Bridgeman, you're a guy who likes the dirty side of the game, the defending side of the game. Yeah, we haven't been. The amount of goals we've leaked to, stats don't lie. I mean, 2 against the United, 2 against Livingston, yeah. 2 against them, it's Ibrox when we're coasting at 2-0. We couldn't keep a clean sheet against a poor Aberdeen team, and we went 2-0 up and coasting, lost a goal, and it was panic station. We were in fault, we shot ourselves in the foot. And by the way, a good point you made, I think Giovanni was involved in that goal and Jim, the goal we lost against Aberdeen. So we've not been keeping clean sheets. And that's not a good habit again, the Bridge, yeah?
Yeah, if you've got a midfield that's not holding the ball when they get it and making passes, you're not going to win games, and you'll certainly lose games because all you're doing is putting pressure straight back onto the defenders. You look at most of the teams that play us. Where do they look for? Where's the weak links in any team? Is it out wide and through the middle? So if they've got a good team that's good at pushing the ball down the channels with a wee bit of angle on it, or straight out wide to the guy who's running wide, we'll get a doing. We will get a doing because every team plays that, and a lot of them are very good at putting the low cross ball in right across in front of the goalkeeper. And if the goalkeeper comes for it, he's probably missing it. But that's what I mean. It's there. We don't seem to do that. We just don't seem to do it. When we do it, when you see it working, it's magic, just like any other team. But my goodness gracious, we struggle for us at Rangers. We don't seem to do that enough. But other teams do it. They don't score a lot of goals against us, but they go down there and they put the balls in. Either, as I say, down the wings, crossing in, or running across and pushing it out to the opposite wing. So all these type of passing, we don't seem to do that as much as others do. And they hold the ball and they've got great confidence. And what did they do? They thrash the ball in at 100 miles an hour across the goal. And there's a great chance that even our players might put that in the net, you know. Anything at all like that. We just don't have anybody that's got the wisdom in their game to be able to do anything about it. When you've got your centre halves running back against your goalkeeper, then you're in trouble. You're really in trouble. And that's what happens to us. We've got our defence, and the defence is, by the way, 99 times out of 100, it's the 2 centre backs, and they got themselves into knots sometimes, and clash with each other. All the stupid things that can happen. And that's all because of panic is in your breasty, you know. That's all that is. And we've got to.
This is my problem with this system. You've got to push fullbacks up, and in reality, it can become a 2-4 in front of you. They're all defensive, so you've got the goalkeeper 2-4, and the fullbacks are in between. If you like, Jim, the two centre halves in the midfield. There's nothing, and then all of a sudden that's 7 players you've got in defensive duty. And then you wonder how there's a gap. I always think there's a flaw in that system. There's a flaw in any football system.
There is, because see if you're not protecting the ball, which we commented on tonight, i.e. getting the ball away in that midfield, you're in trouble. They're on you. They're coming at you.
Aye. If you get, especially if
and I think part of the problem with your midfield is you've got 2 guys here who you're saying they're sitting, Big Chucky and what's his name, Raskin, sitting there holding. Why is the need for these 2 guys sitting holding when you're playing 2 centre halves? I mean, Raskin, I don't know how many times this season or the recent weeks has been looking as if he's been playing like a centre half. He's not used to us in there. No use to his whatsoever. Sitting in between the 2 centre halves.
No, and that's what the idea is, that he drops in there, the fullback's going to midfield, and there's your numbers. But then there's a hole in the middle of the park right up to the if the guy is playing in the middle with the midfield forward goes left and right, there's a hole between your centre halves and the centre forward, mate, and the other team win the ball or it breaks in there. There's nobody there. There's nobody within yards yet, and we've all witnessed it. You know, I just like, I like the numbers in there. I like the 3, and I like them shuffling. I like them working and not helping each other out. As the 3 midfield players going left and right as a unit. Just me. Maybe I see it slightly different. Anyway, we'll be joined by Josh. Evening, Josh.
Evening, boys. You all right?
Evening, Josh.
Hi, Billy. Bridgeman.
How you doing, Josh?
And Ox. So I agree with everything that you're saying. This cheating and skullduggery, I'll say it. They've been cheating for years and years and years, and that and Sunday is just scandalous. Even Saturday night, Hearts got robbed of 2 points. Hearts could have been 3 points clearer now, and that's a big difference going into these 2 last games. And everybody seen it. If you watched the Motherwell and Hearts game, it was a penalty. even at Celtic Park, that goal was offside. Come on, there's two players, one standing right in front, Nygren standing right in front of the goalkeeper. How's he meant to see? And that's blocking his view, and that's a foul straight away. And you're not supposed to impede the goalkeeper or standing in his eye range. And then that tackle with Johnson, we spoke about it last night. It's career damaging for a young boy, and he's lucky he got up.
Could be. I just think because he's out of control and he's got a responsibility. He's maybe won the ball. I accept that, Bridgeman. And it's where you end up and what you entail. And when I seen it, Josh, I must admit, I missed it during the game. But I didn't see it till you showed you at half time. And then I thought, it should have been a red card. Am I surprised? No. Am I annoyed about it? Yes, I am. I show the full range of emotions on here. Not always, mate.
It just tells you that there's no. It tells you everything that there's no Scottish referees at the World Cup. That tells you everything that you want to know. There lies the problem.
I don't think I'd let any of them referee a Sabuio match, mate.
No, never that.
You know, I will go to a referee. He might have a take on it, and we've asked him a few times. You know, but how do you get away from this level of poor refereeing, mate? How do we improve?
I think one of the problems is that nobody's held accountable for the mistakes that they're making, because they're then they're getting the things patted on the back and let's go again. mean, I'm not being funny. Look at the officials at the Hearts game tomorrow night. Every one of them was in the group at Celtic Park. Then the other one, who's then the referee at the Celtic game, I believe. Beaten. It's mental, absolute mental.
Yeah.
It's as if authority is can only see one way with one eye. That's what this looks like.
Apart from that, Josh, what's your take on the backing that Danny Rowe got for the board today? Obviously, we're not seeing anything official, but it looks as if the media have cracked it that it's already there's plans afoot, and the board are happy to back him to carry on forward to next year. And when they say back him, I don't mean they'll be backing them with personnel coming in. Josh,
I said it last night. We can't go on sacking managers every season, and this isn't his squad. Out with a couple of players, this isn't his squad. So that he has to prove himself with his own squad. And I'm glad, personally, that the hierarchy has backed him, if that's the case. I'm glad he can get rid of the crap and get his own players in, and then we can judge him. And as I said last night as well, excuse me, he's heightened our expectations up sky high and burst the balloon, Merido. And we're all hurting, we're all angry, and we need to just hope that he gets the right players in and gets the right players out, and including the goalkeeper, because I think the goalkeeper needs to be one of the first, because he's culpable for so many mistakes, and the goals that they're letting in it's just beyond a joke. And I think some of the players in the team now have to be held accountable. It's not just on the manager. I know he's made the wrong formations and the wrong decisions, but once you cross that white line, you're responsible for your own actions. The manager can't do anything, and some of them aren't even trying. You know that, you see that in games, and playing for 9 minutes or 10 minutes at Celtic Park. I mean, Shamiti had Trusty in his back pocket. He was outstanding for minute one. Trusty was a bag of nerves, and I don't understand how we fell off a cliff, 1-0 up. Yes, the couple of decisions that we've spoke about has impacted on the result, but the performance, we never laid a glove on them in the second half, apart from Miovski hitting the bar with the heady. That's it. I never seen Sinisalo making an outstanding save or anything, and that's the problem.
Funny enough, there was 4 goals in the game, and the goalies weren't overworked. You know, let's be honest, Butland didn't have a lot today either. But the problem I've got with Jack, he's making the odd error and he's not making the odd save. Jim?
Aye. But again, are the ones in front of him creating this problem and all? But again, I'm nobody.
Ultimately, he's got his job today, mate. You're right, mate. Some of the defenders. But what I'm saying is he's making the odd error, but he's not making the odd save.
No, he's been a bit culpable in the last few weeks as well. Goals that's went through him, it should be stopped rather easily. Again, see me look at these stats for that game at the weekend there. There wasn't much of a difference in the stats between the two teams, i.e. shots on targets and whatever else. There wasn't much in it.
Oh, there's only one stat I'm interested
in. Poor referee.
You've also got to keep them out and put the ball in the net. It's simple, but keep it out of one end and put it into the other.
Well, we've got a number. You've got to put it up and the other end. That's the truth. That's the truth. But yeah, you're right. I like to think the defence is the most important part of the team, simply because that's where you save goals or stop goals going in, and whatever you want to call it. But up front, from the midfield up, that's the ones that are going to score goals, make the chances, score the goals, and we don't seem to be able to do that as nice as we would like. And you wonder why, don't you? Because I think Josh just said there, that big boy Chermiti, I think he's a marvellous player, absolutely marvellous player, but he's on his own. But he's still rattled that Trusty, and Trusty's not a bad player, truth be told, but he had him rattled all the way in his back pocket, and they didn't know what to do with him. We've seen Chermiti scoring some fantastic goals. What can I say? That overhead kick they had against the Tims anyway, the last time, fantastic, absolutely wonderful goal. What can you say to that? You can't say nothing. And we're not doing it. We've stopped doing it because the supply's dried up. Supply for midfield has dried up. That's not your fault. That's not your fault.
If I take the last 4 games in isolation, mate, yeah, we have scored 10 goals. 11 against, 10 for. We're only -1 in the last 4 games. Yeah, 10 goals in 4 games. Should win you 4 games of football, Jim.
Aye, big time. But again, team between the group that we're sitting here talking just now, what do you think has been the cause of us shitting all these goals? I don't think I can put my finger on it. I mean, they brought that set piece guy in there, and we looked solid. We did look solid. We weren't losing goals. We were creating goals at the other end, getting goals for set pieces, blah, blah, blah. And it's went to pot. What's happened within that group and on that training park for this to have happened? What do you personally think has caused this?
Wow. I think the root cause is the Motherwell game when we started poor and got ourselves into a mess. 2-0 good, and that was the beginning. And that's maybe caused it to exasperate since then. Josh?
For me, it's got worse for the Motherwell game at Fir Park, where we couldn't hold on in 9 minutes. We got outplayed and we managed to score with Raskin, remember? We were 1 up and then we held on right to the end and they scored for that close ball. You just shut up shop if you're struggling. And that's probably the things that the support are seeing that are actually at the game and we're seeing it on the TV that we're struggling and we're getting overrun. So you just play defensive. I don't care if you take somebody off attacking minded and put like Barron on or something that hods up the ball. Just to use the 3 points, because that could have been a good 2 points for the table. But it's just these wee things that you see sometimes in Danny Rowe that you're watching the game and how can we see that? But he can't. What is he watching that we aren't? Do you know what I mean? That just wee things like that make the difference to pick up 3 points instead of 1 point.
Aye, listen, that's statistically where we sit, Jim, the goals we've lost and the goals we've scored. Yeah, I think in this run, the way we've been shitting goals is a bigger issue than the goals we've scored. I think you score 10 goals in 4 games. I know 6 of them's against Falkirk, but you still think you could maybe go on and win the games. But we've no, and I think the basis is sometimes clean sheets, and Bridge will be delighted with that. To give the platform and go on to win the game. Clean sheets don't win you the game. Goals in other games win you the game. Obviously, clean sheets make it easier, Jimmy.
Aye, big time. I know you were saying there about the Motherwell game. I'll even go back to the Dundee United game at Ibrox. I think it was at 4-2. Dundee United hit the post when it was 3-2, and we went up the park and made it 4-2. I think it's been pretty alarming for a good few weeks now. No, just the Motherwell game where they beat us 3-2, and it's been pretty alarming. I think for weeks.
It's hard to disagree with that, Josh, because we've all witnessed it. But as long as you're winning, you maybe don't become too critical of defence. You put it down to blips, and then eventually it bites you.
But we're all seeing firsthand the performances that the team's putting in. Livingston 2-0. They wanted it, and they're bottom of the league. They wanted the 3 points more than us, and we're going for the league title. What's that all about? And then we're only coming into the game once they get a player sent off, and then we're all over Celtic. It's at Ibrox 2-0 up, and we let that slipping off. I mean, it's just all these calamities, and then we don't need to go through into Hearts and Motherwell and Tynecastle and Ibrox, and it's just. I hope he gets, if it's true that the hierarchy has backing him, then hopefully he gets better class of player. But will the better class of player come now that we're not in the Champions League qualifiers?
Sorry, I was doing a bridge man there talking away to myself. It's time for a tune.
How many years ago, my boys, I left old Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I'm settled down. Although I miss old Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, what I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb my Bachelor Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with sadness, it would fill my heart with cheer if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can buck up California where the sun shines all the year. You can bum my Butcher Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with cheer if we only had the Rangers over here. Finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. We're the boys who fear no noise, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb my Bachelor Broadway light so clear. But it would fill my heart with sadness, it would fill my heart with cheer if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had the Rangers over here.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Hey, Jim, I take the point that you've made that we're all over flat, we're frustrated, yeah. But we're going to have to move forward at some time. Obviously, we'll be glad when the season's finished now because the way it's panned out. It's been one of the maddest seasons you've ever known. In reality, if you're honest, there's been moments of brilliance, been moments of absolute. It's been dire. There's been frustration. There's been anger. There's been joy, and then ultimately it's ended. It's petered out, and we're all frustrated. But we're going to have if the club make a decision to go forward with Danny Rowe, and it looks as if they have, and we're going to start bringing in players because that will happen quickly. It's quite quickly we're into June, and then people will start coming in the club. We have to decide or get behind the team. We're in preferences, or you might have a problem with the manager, but we're going to hopefully get behind the team and drive ourselves forward, because what's gone's gone, and if new players come in, players leave, we've brought some players in January, hopefully everybody's fit, we can have a better squad and a better team than we've had this season, and ultimately we're going to need, I think we're going to need at least 20 points more to win the league next season. There you go.
Aye, I think the most important thing is to get the players with the right mentality in. Because I feel as if some of the ones you know, they're fragile. They came from lower leagues in England. Scottish football is not as easy as you think it is. Again, the mistakes are basic things for football players. And again, the thing I'm aiming at this group of players is they knew the big prize was in front of them, and they couldn't get themselves up for it. That's my issue with this group of players. Is it the problem being there's certain ones in there who are used to it? They should be driving them.
Maybe some people, maybe it's time for people. It's maybe time naturally for people to move on, and obviously people look at Tav, and also people will automatically look at Jack Butland as well, because they're the most experienced pros in our group. We're definitely the oldest. Whether Butland's played as many games as some players they check out, but obviously with his age and he's been an internationalist, they two are the most experienced. So if you like, they were leaders, captain and vice captain. But Tav is retiring, Josh. Butland's got a year to go. I think we need a goalkeeper. I think and quite quickly we may need another one. I don't know if he's the answer personally, but if they're the leadership and they're driving the standards, they fell short, mate. They fell short, and for no the first time. And that's I'm not trying to disrespect James Tavernier, because I think he deserves respect for what he's done for us. But the sands of time wait for no man, and it's been apparent that his legs have gone, and it's been like watching. I think somebody says it's been like watching Muhammad Ali versus Leon Spinks, mate. When you're done, mate.
It's probably like watching Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul and getting shown up, struggling about the ring. Whereas 20 years ago, Mike Tyson would have knocked him out in about 30 seconds. The idiot. But I know what you mean. Tav is done. His record's there. It will never be broke. So that's something that his legacy is going to be left. But we need to improve the squad. The problem is, I see Butland, he's not got any really a number two that's any competition for him. Kelly isn't any competition for him. He needs a bit of competition so that he'll understand if he makes a mistake, he's grabbed for the next game and the number two goalkeeper's in. That's what you need to wake Butland up. I think he's got it too easy.
I don't think you drop a goalie for a mistake, mate. Yeah,
no, but you know what I'm talking about. Butland is making mistakes every single game. Ox, it's every game. It's not every 3 or 4 games. It's every game. He's culpable for all these 3 goals that we're letting in. He's no. Some of these goals it could be saving or doing more. He doesn't even command his box. And his distribution of a ball in the 18-yard box is absolutely pathetic for somebody that for his stature. It either goes out out for a shy to the opposition or to the opposition player. Every bit of the department of his game needs to be upped 10 times.
I don't think he is making mistakes. What I think he's stop making is saves, Jim.
Aye, you're right. One he should be saving. Can I come back in again on the Tav one? See on the Tav, he's played over 200 players since he came out to Rangers, and I believe 11 managers. 11 different managers he said at Rangers.
Could you name all the players that Tav's played with?
No.
No, I get it, mate. Well done. I can actually check that out if you give me a second, mate. Listen, he's been there for a long time. He's been good for his piece. In my opinion, he's been good for his other piece. Has he been good for us in the last 18 months? Have we kept on maybe too long, maybe a couple of years too long? Maybe in hindsight, yeah. And this season, it just looks as if the legs go, and that's no disrespect to him, you know. And I'm glad we're shaking hands, and seeing where we go. Right, okay, how many players has he played? Managers and teammates. Right. Yes. Stephen Smith 1, Stephen Davis 2, Jimmy Nicholl 3, Jonathan Johansson 3, Barry Ferguson 15 games, Russell Martin 17 games, Pedro Cachina 25 games, Danny Rowe 34, Graham Murray 34, Michael Beale 42, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst 65, Mark Warburton 78, Philip Clement 81, and Stevie G 168. There you go. Wow, all the players, mate. You might be right, mate. I just
over 200 players.
Don't know if it's as many as that, but geez, it's a lot. I wonder.
It's over 200.
The guys that's played him once as a substitute, well, Mason Munn, Aaron Lyle, Stephen Kelly, Kieran Dickinson, Kyle Bradley, and Serge Atikai, Tom Walsh, Robbie Ure. These are the ones, Jordan Thompson. Yeah, these are the ones they come on maybe subs. The ones that have started once against them. Sadiq, Nathan Patterson, they started once with Mason Munn, Charlie McCann, I can't remember him. But I know, is he no minder? Herrera, I don't even know that name is. Robbie Fraser.
When did we sign Sadiq Khan?
David Temple, they played with him twice. Yeah, wow.
Unbelievable,
I've never looked at that, mate. It's some list. It's some list.
Aye, mate, it's over 200 players.
Zunga, I wonder if I can count that. I wonder if I can get that. Aye, interesting. Right, okay, well, listen, we've got the press conference today, so if you don't mind, get yourself on mute, and we'll hear from the gaffer, and we'll have a quick discussion. Fox has kindly done it in 2 parts. We'll do it quickly. We'll do the first part, have a quick discussion, play the second part, and then we'll turn our attention to who might be playing in the morning night. So get yourself on mute.
Danny, now you've had time to reflect on the weekend and I guess the season as a whole, is there anything you would have done differently in hindsight? Any regrets about the way it's gone?
Yeah, too much time was not just 24 hours, but was enough to look back to the game. Of course, I think you look to the full picture. And I'm now here since 204 days. If you take the 190 days, yeah, it was okay. And I take the responsibility as well for the last 15, 16 days. And this is my job. I think this is as a manager. if you win, you make a lot of things right. If you lose 3 games in an important time of the year, then of course it's normal that you get questions and you have to answer the question. That's the reason why I'm here.
I appreciate it's not easy to speak about, but I'm sure you'll be aware there's been a fair bit of criticism coming your way from the supporters because of the way the title race is played out. Would you say that criticism is justified or unfair?
This is not my job to measure this. I think everyone who knows me knows exactly how I handle the situations. I think that is a motivation to do it better, and find solutions. Football is football, and we are in a big club, and we are in a demanding club, and that's about winning games. And if you don't win games, then of course, like I said, I take the responsibility for this. I stay in front of my group. I'm the leader of the club in this case, and yeah, I reflect myself. But I'm also looking forward, and I'm really motivated for the future to make it better and to bring something back what we all want.
I know we spoke about it last week, but in the last couple of days there have been more reports linking you with jobs in Germany. I guess the question, well, the answer we're all trying to find out is, are you still going to be Rangers head coach next season?
Of course, no question mark from my side. I think, like I said 3 days ago, when I chose and I joined the club, it was for me about find a club where you can, when titles have demanding environment where you can really bring something back to the club, and this is my focus, and my focus is as well in the last 6 days now to take really good results, because it's very crucial. It's always about the first impression, and it's always about the last impression. And the last impression at the moment, it's 3 defeats, and we can work that we have 2 wins, and then we go in the summer break.
Captain James Tavernier will play his final game at Ibrox tomorrow. What sort of atmosphere are you expecting, and what sort of send-off do you hope that he gets after 11 years at the club? Yeah,
important is, and hopefully even in the situation, it's not the easiest one. We can create for him a great goodbye. I think he deserved it. He did a lot of things for the club, long time here for our club. He loves the club, and he made the decision finally. I really respect him, and I think it's important that he gets tomorrow a good goodbye from all of us.
Danny, you said that, of course, there's no question on your side that you'll be here next season. Have you been assured by Andrew Kavanagh and the club that you will be here next season?
Yes. I think the last 48 hours was, like I can say it, unbelievable. The support from the board, everyone around me see a lot of positive things, but we are also critical with ourselves. I think there's no question mark. The most important thing is, and this is what I many times said, we have to take all the informations and what we need in the new season. And I think you can imagine. I think with Tev we will lose the captain, and it means for us, and this is for us a big signal as well. We need new leaders, more leaders for the dressing room, to set our standards, what we want in the training pitch, in difficult moments in the game. I think this is crucial, and this is a great opportunity to work on this. I had yesterday a conversation again with the club, and you can be really, trust me, I'm very clear, especially also after the last 3 weeks, what we need to be top.
That said then, Danny, how significant do you think the squad change will be in the summer?
Yeah, will be. I think there will be changes, and we have to change. I think this is, we start in January. We saw January, we made some good signings. We saw as well everyone who's new need as well written. It's not just you come on, but this is important. And in the summer, we want to move forward, bring quality in and bring leadership in. And there's both things what we have to bring together in the right balance. because this is as well just with individual quality or just with leaders. We have not a team, we need a team. The team must be very strong, and for this we need different profiles, and we are very clear in which direction we want to move forward.
Last one for me, just for clarity, the conversations that you had in the last 48 hours, was that specifically with Andrew Kavanagh, or was that specifically on the way ahead?
All of them, yeah, really all of them. I think this is at the minute a great thing. There's not just one person around me, there are more person around me. Everyone supports me really well. And we are really honest to each other. This is not that we are lying or we make it better than it is. We know exactly the reality is at the moment 3 defeats in 3 important games where we couldn't deliver. And from this point we have to go forward. Yeah, this is now the last 5-6 games, days. Like I said, it's important that we have a strong finish.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Obviously, it looks as if the plans are on place. Doesn't matter what happens. Yeah, Jim.
Yes, I think some of these comments here, by the way, left a lot to be desired. By the way, that he thought things have been good and all the rest of it. By the way, I don't think things have been good over the last few weeks. And if he's satisfied, then for me anyway, I don't know. I'm not satisfied. And I just felt from his comments here that I left a bit of lot to be desired.
I think he agreed with you there, Jim. I think he recognised where we got to and then what happened. You know, that sort of sums up the mood. We got ourselves right in it, and it might not have been perfect, but we got ourselves, it was in my own hands. And then the wheels will come off. I actually think he's agreeing with what you say. Josh?
I think he's said everything that was spot on, isn't he? So he's took us to a place where we were in with a chance in the last 3 games. The players have failed to deliver. That's what's happened, isn't it? So the last 3 games it's messed up the title challenge. And now he wants a good strong performance in the last 2 games. So I think he's telling the truth. I don't think he's lying, and I do think that he does understand the disappointment in the fans, and I think I do sense a bit of disappointment in the way he talks and stuff like that as well. Mm-hmm. I think he's made so much. He's put in so much hard work to get us where he's come in the door, to getting his touching distance and challenging for the title, and he's disappointed that it's no the players have let us down, that they've not performed, that the players haven't performed, and he just wants a strong end to the season, the last 2 games, which is fair enough, and I respect that for him. I do think he's the guy to take us to next season, and hopefully he's the way he's sounding anyway. He's got a fair idea of what he needs and who he wants to get ready and stuff like that. So yes, I'm all for Danny Rowe. I must admit. He's no everybody.
He was pretty damning about the leadership.
He was, mate. He was. I was coming to that.
2 or 3 times he mentioned that.
Yeah, he might have talked about we need quality and we need leaders.
But we've not got a leader. Tav's not a leader. Tav isn't a leader. We've not got a leader. We've not had a leader for years. We've not had a leader. A guy that's strong, forceful, shouts at you on the pitch, gives you a bollocking in the dressing room and all that kind of stuff. We've not got that. Tav isn't that guy. Tav doesn't even come in front of the cameras. He leaves it for Fernandez and all that in Butland. When that Rami was going on, it was Butland that had to go face to face with the angry supporters, if you remember, at the barricades at Ibrox. and he was calm. Butland, Tav wasn't very seen. Tav's not a leader. Tav isn't a leader, and hopefully we can get a leader in. Hopefully we can get a guy that actually shouts and bawls and curses and swears and.
I think the days have gone, mate. I think you're living in the past. I don't think you see that anyway in modern football. I don't think you even see it around the park anywhere. Bridgeman?
Difficult to say with that one, that point you made there. Difficult to see. Personally, I think Josh is no far away from my thoughts, but then I'm old.
I get it, mate. I think the way the game's changed. I think the game's changed. The people that play the game have changed. Yeah, I think. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying Josh is right or wrong. What I'm saying is I think the days have gone. No, I'm not saying Josh is right.
Yeah, I think, well, how can we say it? We're schooled, come through the school systems, Boys Brigade, any other amateur level, up into secondary.
That would be the guild. That would be the guild for.
Yeah, whatever, you know.
Carry on, Bridge.
But you know what I mean? It's all there. The levels of playing football is all there. And when you get up to just below junior at the first class juvenile, secondary juvenile, you're in amongst some really, really good teams, really tough teams. And I'm not saying it's the same level, but that's what's happening with us. We're finding out that the players we bought at the new year there and at the start of the season, they're not good enough. They just some of them just aren't good enough, and they should know they aren't good enough. But not from the manager, but from other players. So if they're having a bad game and they don't get their pals' support to keep them going, then what are they going to do? You know, the manager's going to say that you were crap, and the players are going to say you were crap, and before you know it, you're sunk into the wee self again, and you end up getting punted or getting kept on to the end of your contract for absolutely nothing. And there are about 5 or 6 players that we know have done the very same thing. It's very difficult, very difficult. And if you bring in a strong guy there, the strong guy's got to understand what the situation is with all of those players. And that's why you need a good captain. You need a good captain that can speak to people, that the people he's speaking to know that he's the boss on the park. He's the boss man on the park.
Okay, across you. I think we've been joined by Gordon. Evening, Gordon. How we doing, mate?
How you doing, Ox? All right, mate. I'm not only here to crawl in any form of fashion, but I don't know if you can recall the conversation I had the last time we phoned in, and I had asked you, who did Danny Roll improve in the 6 weeks it was in? You eventually came back and you'd said young Moore, which I agreed with. But my bottom line was I thought we had a mediocre team with a mediocre manager. And unfortunately, that's how it's panned out. I'd also mentioned the work that Lampard was doing, and I sometimes wonder what might have been if he had got the job. But again, that ship had sailed. And again, you've just played Danny Roll's press conference and that there, but I think he's hard to listen to. I know English is his second language, but it's hardly inspirational.
A bit of ourselves, Gordon,
we're all lacking inspiration. I mean, I feel sorry for my missus. She's in suicide watch, but I don't suppose that it's only. I make light of that, certainly. I know that's a serious issue, but no, it's all. I can only see doom and gloom, and it's a wee bit fearful again. Them backing him. I don't know the answer.
What would you do? What would you do if you were Andrew Kavanagh? You might have a different view to me, but what would you do? Right, so you're in charge of the club. So we've got 2 games to go. What would you do today, or what would you do at the end of the season? What would you do today? Would you just leave it, let it pan out?
I think that's all you can do. You can't reverse the tanker now.
What would you do at the end of the season? What would you do at the end of the season?
I know. That's the thing. You can't turn around and get out of this audit again. I wouldn't go back near for Gerrard. His turn is done. It's all about Stevie Gerrard now for himself. It's not about he had the chance to come back up here, and for one reason or another, he come up with lame excuses. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly couldn't turn around and tell you. But nah, I think we're lacking right for the grassroots. It's no there. It's no there. And I'm like all the rest of you could understand boys if their capabilities isn't maybe as good as what past players we've been blessed with. But for you see them getting outrun, outfought, that's a hard thing to take. No, Hank?
Listen, mate, if I'm honest, what was your opening line about the players you said we were mediocre?
Aye, that was months ago. They're mediocre players, and we had a mediocre manager.
All the players we've got, mate, there's some flaws with them. They might lack experience, they might lack pace, they're not good passers of the ball. Some of them ball hot and cold, safe. Gasman, you've seen him, he looks unplayable for a few games, and then other games you don't see him for 6 weeks. There's a flaw in all the players. Jim?
Yes, and that is down to the manager and his coaching staff to improve that. Has he improved it? In spells, aye. In other parts, no. I think he's going to wield the axe on that what do you call it, a leadership group. I think you'll see cheery out to your players, and I think he feels as if that might be the group who have let him down.
Aye, no, I agree with what you're saying, Jim, but everyone just seems to be that airy acceptance about it. There were one of the other podcasts I watched, and I think it was Davey had turned around and had said that they hadn't even replaced Jimmy Bell in the dressing room, and it's characters, lad, it's missing right through the team. And I know you maybe think I'm clutching at straws, but I know that Stevie Smith is in the backroom team. When he got appointed, I can mind of him as a Celtic game at the Colton Road end, turning his ball in the back. That's the kind of guts that character's got. I don't know if you can recall that, but I can certainly. As I said, I'm not hanging Stevie Smith or not, but I think that just falls into place with everything that's about our team now. There's just no guts, no fight. It's quite sad, like.
It's been really slow the last couple of weeks, mate. You know, because we had got it into our own horns. I'll give you another player that I think he's improved, mate. Yeah.
Who?
Chermiti. I think he's improved, Chermiti.
Aye. No, the big lad, he must be really frustrating to train because he has got all the ability and the touches and that he shows, but it must be frustrating trying to train him. No, fair comment. I'll accept that. The big fella's he's frustrating to watch, but you can see he's a talent. You definitely can. However, lads, thanks for taking the call, and maybe the next time we come on, we'll have a fresher state of mind and be ready to go again. You think after all these times getting kicked and all that, you get used to it, but it doesn't really. However, pleasure to talk to you, and as always, boys, we are the people. Talk to you again.
Gordon, really enjoyed your call, mate.
Right, bud, cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. This is something I don't really say often. What a nice guy. Never said that to you, Josh, have I?
No, you've never. Last night you agreed with me for the first time. You nearly fainted and made a mockery of me.
I nearly fainted as well.
I know. All went quiet for a couple of minutes. I was going to hang up.
Josh, Bridgman thinks I'm a nice guy when he gives me his bar bill. Here you go, Yorks. You get that. Oh, thanks, Bridge.
Oh.
Anyway, listen, we maybe get who's playing tomorrow night. So if you don't mind, Get yourself quickly on mute and we'll hear a second part of Danny Rowe's interview. Cheers, boys.
You talk about knowing what's required in the summer. How much of the last 3 games and the manner of those defeats made up your mind about certain players here and their futures?
We were before clear. We used this time, but especially now in these moments, you have maybe then from a grey to a black picture, if you want. I think this is also, if you take something for the future, sometimes you need exactly, even it's a difficult situation, but maybe that helps really to go strong forward. And this is what we have to do. And this is a good thing, like I said, we are clear on this. There's not something between at the moment. Everyone is very clear, one page, one direction. And this is what I like to see at the moment.
Danny, the club, you've obviously not been here for a number of years, but the club have been in this situation for a number of years where you get to the split, it's a manager who's arrived mid-season, you don't quite get there. In the conversations you've had this week, what's been the focus on how you, as a coach, but also as a club, break that cycle?
Yeah, both. I think this is, from the club side, this is not my job to answer this question. But for me, and this is important, I'm very clear. When I took over, the situation was difficult. We made a lot of things right. We got good results. We had also some, and this is also part of the story we had in February, some draws too much, where we have to win. Then maybe go with a different points in the split. And on the other side, we go now forward, and this is, I must really say, I'm so motivated. I have passion. I put all the negative things away, and I must also say, I got not just criticized, I got also some feedback in the direction like we stick to you and we want to see you in the new season as well here because we believe in you, and this shows me that not everything was wrong in the last 200 days.
I know you said after the game you're not one to speak about referees. Do you think, having seen some decisions back, should your team maybe have been playing against him? And do you have any feelings on that?
Yeah, I watched it back, and I took the 1-1 and I watched our game back against Motherwell at home. I think there was a similar goal and it was offside. I don't know why that was then not offside. And then when I saw the attack versus Mikey Moore, I think it was a strong one. Then you can think about, in this 10 minutes, it could be 1-0 and 10 men. And the club is moving forward. They have conversations also with the federation, with the refs. I think this is important. And this is also where we have to be. We cannot everything accept in these moments. I know we are not the refs, but finally 2 decisions with big impacts in this game.
Danny, the owners have spent a lot of money on the team since they arrived last year. From the conversations you've had, do you get the impression they're prepared to invest again significantly in the summer to make the changes that you want to make?
I cannot guarantee you how much, but I can guarantee you that they are really open to go again forward, and because they see the potential at the moment, they see really what we missed, and they see as well what we can do with the right signings, and I'm confident in this, and I think this is again the great setup because I'm like it at the moment here, because we are ambitious, we are honest to each other, but we want to move forward.
Can I just ask you about the symbolism of finishing third in the league? This is a club where second best is not good enough, let alone third best. Rangers strive to be the best all the time. How does that affect the feeling around here? And for the owners to come in their first season, the club are finishing third in the league, a lot of Rangers fans find that unacceptable. So what is the message to them going forward?
That is not good enough this season from our side, from all of us. And this is the point where we are strong and straightforward. to see what we have to do, to saw in the last couple of days, weeks, what was good, because this is also in part. But we saw as well what we missed finally to make the big one. And of course, we speak about win trophies and we are in the third position. And when we take the full season, then there were too many up and downs. We had a period where we won a lot of games and our finish is not what we want. And from this point, we are honest to each other. We are convinced that we can change it, and this is what I feel every day.
Danny, you mentioned the club spoke to the Scottish FA about a couple of the decisions that happened on Sunday. Were the club satisfied with the explanation they got from, whether it was Willie Collum or anyone else from the SFA?
I have to apologise. I was not perfect. They have the meeting, I think, now. Yeah, but today is the meeting with them, and it will be interesting how the explanation is about the situation. We had this also in the last, I don't know after which game it was also a conversation with them. Yeah, I think some excuses and some points they made, it's also the ref view and not the club view. But I think important is that we have this conversation with them to get really a feeling why and why not, why in this situation, why not in this situation.
Just on the final two matches of this season, how important do you think it is to go out there and win those two games to maybe try and gain a bit of positivity back with the support?
Yeah, like I said, the last impression before summer break should be a very positive one, because with this positive one we want to go in a summer break to prepare a lot, and we want to start then in the pre-season with a great feeling. Not with the best feeling, because with the best feeling you want something, but with a strong feeling. And yeah, this is our job tomorrow. Put everything on and take the right result, because we hated to lose games, we all of us.
Danny, how does finishing third in the league impact your recruitment strategy for this summer, even in terms of budget?
We were clear before the split what we want, what we have to do, and we are clear now as well what we want to do. In case of influence, we knew exactly the profiles we want. I think the main topic in the last days and games was then again how we have to find the balance between I come back to new leadership, because we lose some leaders, and this is a part as well for the recruitment. Set standards, high standards on and off the pitch every day for this club.
Sorry, I was just waiting for maybe some players that might be playing tomorrow night. He's really went it turn, Jim, taking your point on board about the leadership group, yeah? Do you feel,
like
we'll put you on the spot, that you feel that he's saying they've let us down? Is that what you're putting up? Because he mentioned more than one of them. I mean, obviously Tab's leaving this. Who else is in the leadership group? Is it Raskin? Is it Butland? I don't really know, mate.
Yep. Again, he mentioned it a couple of times there that there'll be Merlin Tav leaving out of that leadership group, so it's going to be interesting. I think the bigger issue is the potential, the players that he thinks that he needs, mate. Because there's been a lot of games where he's been negative in a lot of games where he, against Hibs and that, where he thought a point was acceptable. I mean, he's finding out now that a point's not acceptable at Rangers, and if he doesn't know now, he'll never know.
I think the thing is, always since he came in the door, and people can record him his own, he's got his concerns, and I understand that. But I think what you've always seen, Josh, is since he's come in the door, whether we like it or no, reality is the squad is short, and it's short of quality, short of numbers and short of quality. Josh?
Aye, it's short in every department for me. I don't really think we'll see Raskin in a Rangers shirt next season. I think he's away as well. I think he'll be gone as well.
I think it makes sense. I think he's where he'll be for us financially. I think he's got 2 years of his contract to go. He's got to play the World Cup. Obviously, I think it'll be the peak of interest. His age, he's not old. He's not going to be old in a year's time, but he's only got a year left of his contract. And I think for the club, it makes perfect financial sense. Whether it makes football sense for some people is up for debate, but I think it makes perfect financial sense. And unless you plan going forward, Bridgman. Oh, Bridge. I hate when he does this.
Apologies, guys. Apologies.
All right,
Apologies, guys.
That's all right.
I think it's been a really enjoying that wee bit conversations you're having there. Pretty cool. But I think there's two things that I've got on about it, and the way the manager spoke there that last 5 minutes there, it's along the same lines as a lot of our people on Rangers Radio have been saying for the last 2 months, and particularly the latter part of that. There's a lot of players that have done quite well, and we thought they were great players or could be great players, and unfortunately they seem to have fallen off a steep hill for some reason. And I'm speaking like for Gazama. Now, I like Gazama. I've raved about him, and I think he's a smashing player. However, the last few games he's not played well. He just hasn't played well, and neither has I can't remember his name now. And I'm asking a question: where is Raskin? Is Raskin injured? Has anybody been told of an injury? I've not heard.
We never get into that. We heard whispers that it was a hamstring, mate. Whether it's a real hamstring or somebody protect themselves for the World Cup hamstring. Yeah,
yeah, but I would think our manager should be big enough to come out and say, well, I haven't picked Raskin for this reason, possibly, or he's injured. Yeah,
well, he did say the weekend. He did say the weekend he was injured, didn't he?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. Apologies to the manager.
No, him and Suter had muscle injuries.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Bob Jer's joined this evening. Bob Jer.
Hi, good evening, Ox. How you doing? All right, Bridge?
Aye, okay, pal.
No, not too bad. No, I'm just sitting here like I've felt for the last couple of weeks, disillusioned that we've reached a time in the season, no trophies, dead rubber games, wishing it would peter out to be going with next season. That's basically how it is with me, and I suppose that's a ripple that runs through the hail of the support. So hopefully, as we say, probably for a while now, let's hope that the outlook gets better, the team gets better, and I really dearly want Rangers back among the trophies again. I really do. Why we're not there this season, I don't know. I've analysed it all season. The Martin era was poor. Roll pulled their drawers up, got us back into contention. And when the finishing line came, well, we couldn't hack it. So I'm a bit disjointed with that, guys. I dare say that's a fair assessment on the situation.
I don't think you're alone in these sentiments. Jim?
I'm going to go and pick a couple of bones on his conference thing here again regarding the funding. I think it's pretty obvious where the funding is going to be coming from, and I think it's going to be the sale of his leadership group. And the reason why I'm thinking that, these Americans have pumped millions in there. They've pumped millions in there. And for anybody who thinks they're going to go like that again, they're another £50 million. He's going to need to work. He's going to need to work his bollocks off now, by the way, as far as I'm led to save himself from in there. You know, even the talk about the recruitment again. They were on about some guy who used to play for Hearts. I don't know where it is he's playing now. He's a left back. That's where my frustration's coming from with your recruitment side. We keep on have a tendency to want to go back and try and sign guys who we were after maybe 2 years ago.
That's a fair assessment on things, Jim. I mean, My frustration is just coming from the size of the club, the size and the influence we've got on your game. That here we go again, dead rubber games at the end of the season. It can't continue. We're Rangers, and we need to be up the top. We need to be among the trophies. We need to be strong enough to compete. And for some reason, it's a period coming up for about, I don't know, 5 years now. It's been the same. It's the same level of frustration at the same time a year, every year. And that's what we can't comprehend. Yeah, the manager will need to work his bollocks off, like you said. We'll all have to, as supporters, managers, players, everybody, to get this great club back on track. And in all probability, we're going to have to watch this mob running round in triumph again. We all know the score. We have to get Rangers better. We have to get stronger. How we're going to do it, I don't know. If it's doing the money, fine. If it's doing the hard work, fine. But there must be some way to get the Rangers back on top and amongst the trophies. Can it be second or third best? We're third best this year. Third best, for God's sake. The Rangers never heard it. Well, it has been heard, but nobody held them a long time. So, forgive my frustration, guys, but I don't think I'm far off the mark.
No. Listen, I think, as I said, I don't think it's a complicated decision if you get a decent offer for Nico Raskin, mate. I think it's in the peaky with maybe the revenue you'll get from him. I think that decision's made whether we win 5 games or we don't win 5 games. I don't know what you think, Josh, and then Bridgman.
I think it was away at the end of the season anyway. I think we were going to sell him anyway, whether we win the league or no. That was my opinion. He's a wee bit controversial, and he does to put everything into the game. He spits the dummy out quite a lot. That's why he gets put to the stands with Russell Martin. Now we understand, because he's. I think he thinks he's better than he actually is, and I think this is an excuse just to go and play for the World Cup. That he's wanting to rest himself and all that kind of stuff. Do I think he's got a muscle injury? I don't really think so, because if the manager really thought he had an injury, he's supposed to consult his medicals and the doctors and all that kind of stuff to see and get reports and all that kind of stuff for every player that if they're strained a muscle and all that kind of stuff. So there was no mention in the press conference there, is Raskin going to come back for tomorrow night? So we're in limbo for that as well.
They asked them, Josh.
I know that the reporters don't ask the right questions and stuff. If it was the fans that were that took the media questions, then we would get the right answers that we needed for the club. But these journalists are idiots.
There's fans media in there, mate. There's fans media in the press room. Anyway, Bridgman, your take on Danny Rowe and what he's saying. I think that a lot of the decisions were made whether we won the 5 games or no, mate, because I think the number of players that's going to be leaving us means that we were always going to have to be busy in the transfer market, Bridge.
Yeah, there's some parts of it I could follow and made perfect sense. There's a couple of bits in there that I can't get my mind around at the moment. One of the things is he's starting to minimise the importance of the last 2 games. Now, we're not stupid, and at the end of the day, we ain't going to win the league. If we won the last 2 games, we ain't going to win the league. So there's a lot of maybe Rangers fans think that it doesn't really matter, does it? Well, I suppose to a certain extent it doesn't, but no to Bridgman. For me, we should be winning every game, and we should be trying to win every game. And I was a bit disappointed the way the manager emphasised that 2 games to go, but to me it was just like saying, well, it's not a problem. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's to me more defeatist than anything else. But I sometimes I feel my voice in the wilderness, because a wee bit out from the manager thinks, any of the guys in here, a lot of you might think I'm talking a lot of crap, but I'm actually talking a sense that I can see. For me, I thought the manager is very negative. about the last 2 games this season. I want the team to go out and play better than they've played and win the last 2 games, because if we get, at least we get 6 points out of the split, then it makes up for something. But if we don't get any points, wow, that makes it the worst season I can remember with Rangers. Worst season.
I get that, Rich. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. It'll be interesting to see who appears tomorrow night, because Jim, we haven't got a clue who's played, who's fit. I think all we know that Tavernier will be involved at some point. There you go.
Aye. It's going to be interesting. I agree with you there, Fox. I agree with you 100%. I think I've done a few times this season. As I said earlier on there, results, it should be better. And I think he said that tendency to think it's been acceptable, i.e. some of the performances and whatever else in recent weeks prior to this split, he thought was acceptable. Half decent, because he's seen a half decent performance. Coming second, coming third in a 2-horse race isn't acceptable to Rangers. And that's how I feel, as if these Americans, oh my God, what that? This needs to improve pronto. They put millions in there. And I don't believe for a minute that they're happy with the situation in there. I really don't.
I don't suppose they will. I don't think anybody connected with the club will be happy. Because obviously we're not connected with the club apart from the emotional and financial ties we've got. But I don't think anybody connected with Rangers, because obviously we never seen it coming. But and the way the wheels have come half spectacular in the last 3 games, mate. We'll lose games at Tynecastle. We'll go to their place and we'll lose in the future. We'll drop the odd point in Murrayville going forward. That always happens. And if you put back the amount of times we maybe lost to them in the last the modern era at certain times of the season, it actually surprise you. They've actually become a bit of a bogey team, but the other thing I know is with all those football matches going forward, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's true. It's part of the game. But it's when and how. In the last 3 games, the when and how has been unacceptable. Last word for your good self, the one and only Josh.
What Bridge said, I dread to think if we never won the last 2 games of the season, there'd be an uproar.
The pressure would mount, Josh. It doesn't matter that they're bounce games, the pressure would still mount.
There's no bounce games at our club. We need to win every game, Ox. And we long-term input as long-term fans since we were born, right up to the new. So we know the club better than anybody else that takes over, even these guys. We've got an invested interest in it long-term. They can go away anytime they want, but we're left with the tears and distraught and heartache that these clowns come into a club, and that's the heartbreaking thing, that our hands are tied. Our hands are tied, and we're hoping and praying that these guys make the right decision. But it's catastrophic, as we've all said, that the wheels have fell off the bus. Disastrously, massively, and we're hanging on for these two last games. But thanks very much for having me on, Elks, as always. All right, cheers.
Bob, your last word, bro.
Aye, well, just remember Mr. Struth's great statement. We welcome the chase. And he was right. I wasn't around at the time, but he was right, the man. And new Rangers have become chasers. And we can't handle it. We can't handle it much more. As I keep saying tonight, we've got to get bigger, stronger. They're difficult to beat. And be in contention at this time of year. Ox, thanks for having me again. All the best, lads. I'll catch you all later. Remember, we're still the people. Good night and thank you.
Cheers, Bob. Cheers. Jim, last word.
Again, thanks very much. Been a good bit of topics. Probably talked a lot of crap at times, so I have, but I'm passionate like the rest is. getting about my club. And again, I still don't think these Americans are going to accept this, by the way. And I really don't.
Watch this space then, mate. Watch this space. Anyway,
Right.
good to you join us. Bridgeman, the last word for your good self.
What can I say? What a marvellous night again, Oxter. Absolutely superb. Brilliant discussions. And big shout out to Jim for helping me through this. And Josh. Really and truly, it was just really good night. Thoroughly enjoyed the context. Well done to the two techie boys running the show, and of course to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Tomorrow night, my biggest game of the season so far, and it's against them, the other mob we hate over in Edinburgh. So we'll have to beat them. We've got to show. The team's got to show tomorrow night and do it. I hope we get a good crowd, but I'm not. I don't think it's going to be a full house.
Yes, I think all the tickets were sold. I think they were all sold a few weeks ago. Thanks to Josh for joining us. Of course, Gordon, great call for Gordon. Enjoyed it. Good to hear from him. I hadn't heard from him for a while. Obviously, great to hear from Bob Jerry's enormous and his passion. Thanks to Jim and Bridge for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back. Just make sure they get the time right. Sorry, I hadn't checked. I think it's a 7:45 kickoff, but you never know in this modern world. We'll be back tomorrow night with the pre-match shows. We build up to the game against Hibs. So it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. At 7 o'clock with a pre-match show. Listen, thanks for listening. I know we're all hurting, but apples will grow again. Take it away, Old School Boy.
Keep it going for the Rangers.